There's something we don't really talk about. Something that, if we're being honest with ourselves, is always there, quietly in the background. A comparison. It's subtle at first, almost like a whisper you don't even hear, but it becomes louder, more insistent over time. I didn't realize how much I was doing it until one quiet afternoon. Until the day I realized I was comparing myself to even the people I loved the most. It wasn't always obvious. It wasn't like I was sitting down, making lists of who I should be more like. But somewhere, underneath every conversation, every moment, there it was, like a shadow creeping in. That voice, always present. It would start small, like a seed planted in my mind. Why didn't I say something smarter? Why can't I look as put together as they do? Why don't I feel as confident as they seem? And no matter what, it wasn't enough. It didn't matter if I was surrounded by people I loved, people who were cheering for me. There was always this quiet comparison, like I was trying to measure up, constantly, without anyone noticing. I had a moment one evening. It wasn't anything dramatic, just me scrolling through social media, like I'd done 1,000 times before. But that night, something hit me. I was looking at my friends' posts, pictures of vacations, accomplishments, happy moments, and I felt small. Not that I didn't genuinely want the best for them, but deep down, there was this nagging feeling that I hadn't earned those things yet. I was happy for them, of course, but inside, that quiet voice was there again. Why haven't you done these things yet? Why don't you have these experiences, this success? And then I saw it. I was comparing my journey to theirs. Not because I was unhappy with my life, but because I thought I wasn't enough. Not as successful, not as adventurous, not as put together. I remember walking outside that evening, trying to clear my head. The cool air didn't help. It felt like everything was too much. I couldn't shake the thought that no matter how far I'd come, I wasn't there yet. And the more I tried to focus on my breath, the more the thoughts just kept coming. Why? Can't I be as confident as Rachel? She's one of those people who always knows the right thing to say, who can walk into any room and instantly own it. Why can't I have a career like Jake? He's always got his life together, always moving forward, his achievements stacking up one after the other. And I was stuck, feeling like I was falling behind, caught in the shadow of their successes. It wasn't just a distant comparison. It was personal. It was my closest friends, the people I loved, who didn't need me to measure up to anyone. People who didn't expect anything from me except that I show up as myself, but I still kept measuring, still kept looking at what they had, and wondering why I wasn't there yet. That night, I couldn't sleep. The comparison game was louder than ever. I kept wondering, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we think that someone else's progress is a reflection of our own shortcomings? Why does it feel like there's always something missing, something we should have done by now? I kept thinking, if I don't reach this goal, if I don't live up to this idea of success, what will they think of me? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how unfair I was being. Not just to myself, but to them, to my friends, to the people I love. They didn't want me to be them. They didn't want me to be a copy of their journey. They wanted me to be me. But how could I let go of that nagging voice? How could I stop measuring myself against everyone around me when it felt like the world was moving faster than I was? A few weeks later, I met with Rachel. It was just a casual hangout, nothing special. She was telling me about a project she was working on, something new she was excited about, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel that familiar comparison creeping in. Instead, I stopped myself. I just listened. I was truly happy for her. I didn't feel threatened by her success. I wasn't looking for ways to measure myself against her. In that moment, I realized something important. Her success didn't take away from mine. Her journey wasn't my failure. We were on our own paths, walking side by side, not competing. It wasn't a sudden overnight transformation. It's been a few months since that day, and there are still moments when that old voice comes back, louder than I'd like. I catch myself scrolling through my feed, wondering why I'm not further along. But now when it does sneak in, I pause. I take a breath. I remind myself that my path is mine, and theirs is theirs. And that's okay. I don't need to be them. I don't need to prove anything. I just need to be me, learning, growing, stumbling, and standing back up when I fall. And the people I love? They don't need me to be anything but who I am right now. And that's enough. If you've ever felt this way, like you're constantly measuring up to everyone around you, maybe it's time to stop. Maybe it's time to let go of that comparison. Maybe it's time to remember that your journey is your own. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be valid, valuable, and worthwhile.